not too long ago. So
This is amazing.
so this is kind of crazy. Why don't you tell us
Trump
about it?
effect. Okay,
Trump
well,
effect.
yeah, well, let's read it. Okay,
Okay.
so Manhattan. So I think you all know that Eric Adams, is the mayor of New York City, and he was charged with some kind of fraud and or corruption regarding allegedly some bribe or kickback he got from having some Turkish people, business people, realtors build a building in New York City, which by the way, I think that's how it's done. I'm not certain about that. But and then I certainly am not saying that it's okay to take kickbacks, but it seems to me that's
Oh,
business as
sorry, you're
usual.
breaking up for a
But
second. Hold
people
on. Okay.
but people were commenting they think the only reason that he was charged, because everybody would just overlook that in New York City, is because Eric Adams complained about having to take so many illegals, which during the election was hurtful to the Democrat cause. And so they brought these charges against him. And good on Adams, because he doubled down. He spoke publicly that he felt he was a victim of retaliation, and he kind of kept crowing about, this is the reason I'm for Trump's vision. People said he was currying favor for a pardon, but guess what? He doesn't need a pardon, because as we see here today, Manhattan's chief federal prosecutor and senior Justice Department officials in Washington resigned because they were told to drop a corruption case, that case against Adams. So just a couple of days ago, it came down. Remember, Trump is in charge of the executive branch. That includes the Department of Justice, which brings federal cases against people. And they knew the agency is not interested in pursuing people for just lawfare, right? Just because he complained and hurt the Democrat Party during Kamala's, run, and saying, this immigrant crisis is out of control, which is what Trump kind of won on. Punishing him is not what this new administration is trying to do. So somebody asked the team today. Trump said it wasn't him. He was asked that question in the Oval Office when he was meeting with the Indian Prime Minister Modi. He says, I didn't know about it. But
Mm.
as far as they might know, that's not what this administration is about. So rather than accept their, defeat, these chief federal prosecutor and senior department person stepped down. So we have interim Manhattan U.S. Attorney Danielle Sassoon stepped down Thursday, a day after she wrote Attorney General Pam Bondi an 8-page letter defending her office's handling of the Adams case, and saying she saw no good faith reason to drop the case. Sassoon was instructed to do so Monday by acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove, who said the case was politically motivated, which we all knew, and was hindering Adams' cooperation with Trump's immigration enforcement priorities, because that's what he wants to do, not this nonsense. And, she is obviously, from what I can tell, a left-wing person. She's not there for her job, because you're not there to do your own thing. You're there to uh, carry out the wishes of the executive branch. If
Right.
they say they're not interested in pursuing this, what kind of moral standing are you standing on? It's New York City, and you're saying this man took a bribe for a building to get built that helps the people in New York. Shut up and sit down. All the corruption you're overlooking to go jump over to get to Eric Adams. Are you serious? She says, I understand my duty as a prosecutor to mean enforcing the law impartially, and that includes prosecuting a validly returned indictment, which is easy to indict. There's an expression, you can indict a ham sandwich, okay? Regardless whether its dismissal would be politically advantageous to the defendant or to those who appointed me, she wrote. No, you're just mad because you didn't get your way. You thought this was your big moment. So
Right.
both, good for him. Him or her accepted Sassoon's resignation, or he did, in his own letter Thursday, accusing her of, which it is, insubordination, and saying
Wow.
that the case was being reassigned to the Justice Department. Yes, okay, that's all we need to talk about with that in terms of the reading of it, Fletcher. But we can say this is daddy's home, okay? President Trump is changing, and he did overnight. It has not even been, I think it's only now been 3 weeks since he's been in office. And he has changed the tenor, because it was a lot of politically motivated legal things happening, okay, with that Department of Justice, with all kinds of things. We saw that with the pro-life people being put literally in prison for praying in many cases, honestly, just, aggressive praying and long sentences. It's like they were all, they were pursuing these people, stepping over traffickers, stepping over illegal aliens that they knew where they were, who had literally violated children, killed people. We know that because Trump's ICE has gone and got them, and we knew where they were. And we're seeing rap sheets like this one killed somebody, or suspected of killing someone. Someone violated a child. This one took drugs. You let them go. But the grandma with her rosary beads, that was a problem outside the killing center of Moloch, children sacrificed to Moloch. So it's a completely new day. This woman here, she's really dumb because she doesn't realize she could have stayed on and just done a good job and maybe got the attention, because like we started with this, Fletcher, President Trump is not that partisan. He'll work with anybody who wants to work with him.
Yep.